You ever felt stuck? You ever felt like you had a bigger purpose or a bigger message to be able to share with the world and you just couldn't figure out a way to get it out? If you're a coach, consultant, author, creator, speaker, or just somebody working a 9-to-5 that's looking to branch out into that next level in the next chapter of your life, in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you exactly how I went from literally unknown to somebody speaking on stage in front of thousands of people. And so this video is going to be just me reflecting over a conference that I just came back from recently, which was the 8% Sales and Marketing Conference. And I actually spoke in front of over 1,000 people, absolutely crushed it. And I want to share with you some of the mistakes I made because I almost didn't go to it. So if you stick to the end of this video, I'm going to show you how you can do the exact same thing that I did. So after speaking at this conference of over 1,000 people this past weekend, I had like 9 lessons that I learned, and I wanted to share those with you. This was an absolutely amazing event, and it was absolutely star-studded. Eric Thomas, Jen Gottlieb, Emily Ford, Brad Lee, and Andy Elliott. It was absolutely incredible. And so a couple takeaways that I had. So I want to give you the 9 keys and lessons that I learned from speaking at a conference over 1,000 people. So number 1 is to dream big and dream every single day. So every single morning, as soon as I wake up, before I even get out of bed, I have a photo album in my phone, and it's called 2023 Vision Board. And on this vision board, it has all the images of everything that I want to transpire and the goals and the dreams that I have set out in 2023 to accomplish. And the funny thing is, this conference was absolutely amazing because I was able to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and 2 of the biggest things on my bucket list, I was able to scratch them off. The first one was to be able to see and meet Eric Thomas in person. And then number 2 was to actually speak on stage at a sales and marketing conference, partner up with my friend Cody Askins to share a message in front of thousands of agents and pour into them. And I was able to accomplish that. And the first piece to that was, number 1, I had to have a vision, right? I had to see into the future something that I wanted to accomplish. And then 2, I had to look at it every single day to remind myself when I'm laying in bed, when I only got 4 hours of sleep because the kids were not sleeping through the night or waking up, or I was tired and mentally I just wasn't motivated to get out of bed. I had to scroll through that every single morning to remind myself, if you want to hit these goals, then you have got to get up, take action, build relationships, make dials, make calls, post content, right? Like, you have got to do something to get you closer and closer to that goal. And so I know a lot of people they kind of turn a deaf ear to the manifestation thing. And when we get into the Tony Robbins type stuff, they think it's all woo-woo. But you have to have a clear perception of the future that anticipates an outcome that gives you the motivation and the feeling to take action, and that's how you're going to hit your goals. So what you want to do is you want to dream big, but you also want to make sure that you're dreaming every single day. And yes, it may seem impossible right now, but if you get up every single day and you get 1% better, you get 1% closer to that, then you absolutely can hit that goal as well. So lesson number 2 was you need to get in the room. You see, once I heard that Eric Thomas was going to be there, I was like, oh, I definitely need to be in this room. And so this reminded me of a story in the Bible where a lady was having an issue with blood. And in the story, I'm an amateur at the Bible, but in the story from what I remember is she just knew that she needed to go to the place, she needed to press through the crowd. And if she could just get close enough, get in proximity to touch, that her life would be changed. And no, this isn't something exactly like that to be healed, but I knew that if I could just get close to somebody that was my mentor, I could pick up some things that would definitely change my life. And yes, it did. See, the first thing that happened was Eric Thomas came out and I was sitting in front row, and I got to hear an amazing speech that transformed my life, which means that I can do more than I'm already doing, even if I'm already having success. And then 2 is I'm letting people's no's stand in between the goals that I have and the dreams that I want to have. And so I need to push through that. And then something amazing happened. Cody Askins came out on stage and said that, Eric Thomas usually doesn't do this, but he wanted to over-deliver deliver. Last year they had a breakout Q&A session, and it wasn't in the plan this year, but when Eric Thomas came, he said, man, I need to give the people what they want. It was just led on my spirit and on my heart to do exactly what we did last year to over deliver. And why was that amazing? Because not only did I just get to see him, well, since I was a front row ticket holder, I knew that, and I knew exactly where the breakout room was going to be because I was one of the speakers who had a breakout session. I was able to strategically go directly to that breakout room where Eric Thomas was going to be asking questions, sit in the front row. And when he came out, I was the only person that got to dap ET up, shake his hand, and speak with him, which was absolutely incredible. You see, what happens is when you put yourself out there and you put yourself in the room, you think and you try to calculate the opportunities and the things that are going to happen. But what happens is there's an unlimited amount of reciprocity that comes just from being in the room. For example, if you try to just plant an apple seed to get an apple tree, you're not just gonna get one apple, you're gonna get a whole apple tree. If you want strawberries or you want tomatoes, if you plant tomato seeds, you're not just gonna get one tomato, you're gonna get a whole bushel of tomatoes. You see, when you activate that process of getting in the room, right, and being in a space where you can receive things, it exceedingly and abundantly is going to over deliver. And that's what happened at this conference. I was able to get in the room, I was able to get the message from Eric Thomas, and then I was actually able to meet somebody that I looked up to that was a mentor of mine. It was absolutely incredible. And the reason why that's important is because when you want success as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll do whatever it takes. You see, it was going to cost me a lot of money. I was going to have to leave my family. I was going to have to drive from Nashville to Indiana and then fly out to Dallas, fly back from Dallas to Indiana, and then drive from Indiana back to Nashville just to be at this conference. And people may say, yeah, that seems like a lot. But I knew that I was looking for a transformation in another level that I wanted to go to. And when you want success as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful and you'll do whatever it takes. Number 3 is the mastermind principle. And this principle was made famous by Napoleon Hill, which states, when 2 or more people are actively engaged in the pursuit of a definite purpose with a positive mental attitude, this constitutes an unbeatable force. And I want you to just process this for a second, because I knew that if I got in the room, I was going to be around like-minded people. You see, the people who go to a conference, those are the people who are the believers, right? A lot of people in the insurance business and online marketing business, entrepreneurship, you see, the only thing that they have is a dream. They have a goal, but that's it. The people who show up to a conference, right? They're serious. They've invested their time and their money to be present with the faith that they're going to get an outcome, and they spend money ahead of time looking for just one idea that could radically help them change their business. And so the mastermind principle is absolutely amazing, and you want to activate this principle, because here's the thing, whether you believe in the principle or not, the most amazing thing about principles is they work whether you believe in them or not. So the principle is either working for you or it's working against you. And so you definitely want to make sure that you're understanding that this is one of the most powerful tools that can help you up level yourself as a person and in your business. Number 4, the difference is in the details. You see, there's a lot of people online talking about their course, their product, or their service, whether it's entrepreneurship, online marketing, or even life insurance agents, how you can change somebody's life. But the truth is, the difference is going to be in the details. How much attention to detail do you pay to the prospect, to the process, or to the payoff that you can offer somebody to help them deliver the results that they're looking for? And I saw this, the importance of having a strong team that focuses on the minor details. And I can tell you, Cody Askins has an absolutely amazing team to put on an event that was the best event I've ever been to in any sales marketing space. And yes, that's crazy to say in an insurance industry that is very antiquated, that this was the best conference, and it was because of the details. The details was the difference. And all the way down to all of the chairs, all 1,000 plus chairs had a zip tie on them that they were strategically placed in a spot so that everybody can sit closely together and learn and grow as one unit. The lunches, the text messages, reminders, the speakers, the camera crew, the green room guys, everything was executed flawlessly with the team. And that just goes to show you that if you want to be great, you have to become a great leader. And a great leader is somebody that inspires people and focuses on the minor and the small details, right? Small hinges swing open big doors. And this was definitely on display at this conference. conference. And so while everybody else is making bigger and bolder claims, what you need to do is make your product or your service better so that is the thing that differentiates you and speaks for itself. This conference was absolutely outstanding. Number 5, if you create or build something absolutely amazing, right, people will come. And there's a book by Cal Newport that says, so good that people can't ignore you. And this is one of the things that you have to have in place. Your unique selling proposition is you. And then the thing that's going to differentiate you in the marketplace is your ability to focus on the details and put out a product or service that's absolutely outstanding. And it's so good that people can't ignore you. And that's what we did with our program. So we have a AUM mastermind program, which is a done for you program where it's $10,000 per month for agents to work with us. And you may say, well, man, $10,000 for leads, marketing, sales, like why would somebody even pay that? Well, people like my client who was at this event, Todd Hausberger, who has done 100K in a month. So every time he gives me $10, I give him back 100. Would you take that deal every single time? Every time he gives me 100, I gives him back 1,000. Every time he gives me 10,000, I give him back 100,000, right? And so what I'm doing here is teaching you how to think like a rich person. And so when you can leverage those things to get exponential returns like that consistently month over month, that's a game that you want to play because it's a win-win. And so when you understand that as a principle, right, you understand that this is definitely a room that you want to be in. And it's not just Todd. Jeremy Hayes, one of my clients, has also spending between 8 to 10,000 with us per month for our Agent Accelerator Mastermind. He's already written over 400 issue paid business on his own pen, over 400 grand this year with 6 months to go. And he's absolutely going to break every single record that he set personally for himself. And he's going to do it. And he's probably already done it within the first 6 months of the year. So understanding that you have to build something great so that your reputation can precede you. And then when people actually join your program, the presence of you can exceed those expectations. So what do we learn from that? The number one thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you under promise and then you over deliver. Whatever you put out in the marketplace, make sure that it's good, because if it's not good and it's just mediocre, you're just showing people at a massive rate how average you are. Number 6, what's for you is for you and nobody can stop it. You see, there's a saying in the Baptist church, he may not come when you want him, but he'll always be there right on time. And this spoke to me so well because number 1, I almost didn't go to this conference. I almost talked myself out of a lifetime experience. And then number 2, when I got there the night before I was supposed to speak on stage, since I'm such a perfectionist, Friday night, man, I just couldn't sleep. And I woke up at 4 a.m. My mind was practicing the intro because for some reason, I just thought that I was going to draw a blank or I was going to miss the first things to say, like making sure I gave a shout out to the host and just go right into my presentation. And I was frustrated when I woke up at 4 a.m. Toss and turn, couldn't sleep. So I got up, went to the gym at 6 a.m. and I was just like, man, I hope my mind's going to be ready. I hope my energy is going to be right. And lo and behold, after my workout, I went and sat on the front bench this hotel and I'm listening to my mentor Myron Golden, and he's giving a speech on having joy through every situation. And he says that you need to notice the presence of the Lord in every single situation, and if you focus on that as opposed to your problem, this is how you can live through joy. And I'm just sitting there trying to settle my mind down, and guess who comes walking out of the front door, flip-flops and a backpack? Yep, Eric Thomas. And you can see the image right here. And what happened was, it's amazing how fate in life works when you put yourselves in the right position. Because had I not woken up and not been able to sleep, had I not decided to come to the conference, had I not decided to get up and go work out and be disciplined even though I was tired, I would have been sitting right out front for the opportunity of a lifetime. And for about 5 minutes, I got to speak with Eric Thomas all by myself, and we just had a good old conversation that really changed my life. And the cool thing about that is he was waiting on an Uber, and you know, Uber's usually 1 or 2 minutes off, but for this particular time, for this divine moment, Eric Thomas's Uber took a wrong turn, and that's how I was able to have 5 minutes with him out there all by himself. No security, no camera team, no publicist, nothing. Just him and I. We were able to have an absolute amazing conversation. And this is why you want to put yourself out there, because if you would have told me that I would have had this type of of experience, no matter what it costs, even if it was $100,000, that I would have had this type of experience going to a conference like this before I went, I would have paid for it, right? But not knowing what I was going to get coming out of this conference, I almost talked myself out of it. And this was the opportunity of a lifetime to just show me that when you put yourself out there and you get around amazing people, you activate that mastermind principle, things that you cannot see that are for you will start to happen, and doors will open to truly bless you, right? And show you what's possible, and that you're just getting started, and there's so many other levels that you can go to. Number 7, take every single opportunity that you can to invest in yourself, and do it fast. Don't even think about it, right? Because there's a saying that Eric Thomas says, which is that you want to take advantage of a lifetime of an opportunity inside the lifetime of that opportunity. And what happens is, especially with some of my clients, I talk to them, life insurance agents, they're like, man, I've been seeing your ads online and I've been praying for a system. And when they get presented with an opportunity, the only thing that stands in their way is price. They let some numbers, they let 4 or 5 digits stand in their way of them having success. And it's like, you've been doing it this way, you've been going broke, you've been struggling, you've been praying for some answers. And when you get them, now you want to duck and delay. When actually what you need to do is you need to lean in, step out on faith, and take some action and take control of your future and your destiny. So whenever you get a chance to invest in yourself, just from the experience that I've had multiple times, but specifically this one that I just came from, where I got 10 times whatever I invested to go to this event, is that you want to make sure that you do any moment that you get to level up your mindset, your environment, you get to level up somebody pouring into you to learn a new skill. You always want to invest in yourself. And the best part is you can write it off. Number 8, never be afraid to jump out of your comfort zone and try new things. And so we all know that all growth happens outside of your comfort zone. So if we drew a circle and we put all of these things that you want outside of it, a new car, a new house, vacations, having passive income, being able to have time and location freedom, we put all of those things outside of that circle. What you realize is that inside of this circle, we write the word comfort zone. And what that illustrates is that all of your growth, all of your dreams, everything that you want is going to come getting outside of your comfort zone. I'm gonna say that again. Everything that you want, all the growth that you want to happen and experience is outside of your comfort zone. So the number one thing that you want to do, and I know this seems cliche, but you want to get comfortable being uncomfortable, because that's where the winning happens. It's the slight edge, taking one extra step, taking one extra rep, making one extra dial, making one extra call, staying 1 hour later every single day. That's the difference, and that's uncomfortable. When you're already tired, when you're already frustrated, when you already hit your goals, when you're already behind on your bills and you just want to give up. Making that extra step, getting outside of your comfort zone, that's where all the growth is going to happen, and that's where the unlimited possibilities lie for you. And then number 9, always upgrade to the best experience, the best seat, and the best ticket. So this has happened to me over the last 12 months, where I've got to do a couple of amazing things that the experience has been different, and I can never go back to that. So I've flown on a private jet before, which is absolutely amazing, during COVID, coming out of it, which was absolutely amazing, right? You got a driver, you pull up to the gate, they take your bags, you hop into your seat, you take off, right? And you land. None of this standing in TSA, none of taking your shoes off, going through, getting scanned, wand, ask a million questions, being treated poorly by the people who work for TSA. That's one experience that's definitely worth paying for. The second one was I got to go to a Memphis Grizzlies Warriors game, and I sat on the floor seats, and this ticket was probably about $3,500. But here's a couple cool things that happen. If you want to be around successful people, you want to meet successful people, you got to do what successful people do. And what happened was, I didn't know this, but there's a whole catering area for people who have those tickets, where all the celebs, all the successful people sit. And so Zach Randolph, who's an NBA player, most notably for having a 2010 rebound career, I was able to meet Penny Hardaway, who was back there. I think Lil Boosie was back there, and then Ja Morant's dad. So I got to meet some very successful and prominent public figures just by being there. And then the seats. That was a one-on-one experience to watch Ja Morant go for, I think it was 51 points, and be right there. have pictures, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Ja Morant just play a masterful, absolutely amazing game that went to overtime too. And so the only 2 times I've been to Memphis, I was in the nosebleeds for game 6 that went to triple overtime against the Grizzlies and the young OKC Kevin Durant Thunder. And then this game that went to overtime where I got to watch Ja Morant, and it was absolutely magical. And then this time at the conference. So at this conference, I sat front row. So I bought the best ticket, which then allowed me to go and be front row to meet Eric Thomas, right? And to be seen. And it's the experience that you want to upgrade to. You see, if you are always looking for the cheapest deal, you're looking to penny pinch, right? You're looking for a discount code, you're always looking for the freebies, that's who you're going to attract. If you want premium customers, you have to become a premium customer. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And so I hope this video was helpful. I hope it was insightful. So if you learn anything from this video, invest in yourself, get out of your comfort zone, and make sure you dream big and dream big every single day. God bless.